What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we have a lot of stuff that we need to cover. First off, all I ask is if you enjoy these daily updates, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button. But here's what we're going to discuss today. First off, there's new bills coming, and these are the appropriation bills for fiscal year 2024. I will address what's going on right now because Congress is about to go on a recess for 2 weeks. So they are trying to get stuff done, finalized today, and I will address what's going on there. We're going to talk about the Supreme Court and how we have a major update coming out today. That is regarding the student debt forgiveness. That decision will happen today. Also, major strike. This is a major strike coming from UPS. If we see UPS workers strike, that means more than 300,000 workers will go on strike. Your packages will not be delivered. This will impact Walmart, Target, Amazon. This will also impact FedEx. So I will break down all that in today's video. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. But let's get right down to it. What are these new bills? Well, here we go. It says Republicans race to build support for spending bills as divisions loom large. Now, what are they arguing over? Well, here's the thing. Republicans have been saying for some time that they want to cut spending. And then when it came to this debt ceiling bill that was passed earlier on this month, they didn't cut spending as much as they would have liked and hoped. So now we are seeing that some lawmakers are actually pushing Republicans to request less money. Well, here's what started. It says the House Appropriations Committees passed 6 spending bills ahead of the July 4th recess, which would start today. But negotiations are continuing over recess on whether those bills and the 6 that they're still working their way through might need further changes to win support on the House floor. The Speaker can only afford to lose a handful of members. This is the problem. Speaker Kevin McCarthy cannot lose too many people or else the bill will not pass. Again, this is why they're trying to work together, and they're going to have these meetings over the next couple of weeks to ensure that they're all on board and they all agree to the way that they're moving forward. Now, it says right here, okay, I just want to show you this. It says, over the recess, members have planned small group meetings intended to get Republicans on the same page and educate newer members about what is possible in the weeks and months ahead of spending. That's what they are doing. Now, I do want to show you one other thing, okay? Let me see if I can find it really quick. Because right now, there are some things that they're trying to go through that is going to be very controversial, okay? And let's go ahead and read it. Okay, I want to read this together. Here's what it says. Okay, it says some of these items include policies barring federal spending on programs that invest in diversity, equity, and inclusion training, surgical procedures, or hormone therapies for the purposes of gender-affirming care, and policies banning any funding that would be used for discriminatory action against a person on the basis that the person acted in accordance with a sincerely held religious belief. This also says the conservatives are also pushing to include riders like rescinding funding for a new FBI headquarters in the wake of the federal indictment against former President Donald Trump. That rider hasn't been included, but is a top target for some conservatives. That's just what they're saying, okay? The crazy part about all this is that, yeah, they're starting this now ahead of the July 4th recess, which again is going to be for 2 weeks, but they don't have to pass this until September 30th, okay, right before October. That's going to be interesting how they actually come to an agreement here, because again, something like this, putting in riders, barring federal spending on programs that invest in diversity and equity. Again, it's going to be a tough, pretty much tough pill to swallow for many Democrats. So we're going to see what happens there. But that is one of the big things that is coming out, because again, they have to work on this as soon as possible. Now, let's get to the next big update, and this is it. The Supreme Court is going to rule on President Biden's student loan forgiveness program. That's going to happen today. The reason why we have been waiting for so long is because the Supreme Court wanted to push this off pretty much till the end. Well, they came out and ruled today. Now, I want to read you this right here. It says the Supreme Court will wrap up a historic term Friday, that's today, with two monumental decisions in controversies closely followed for months by millions of Americans. Well, what are these controversies, right? What are they? Well, one is the power to wipe out student loan debt. That's a big one. The other one is whether businesses may deny wedding services to same-sex couples. That's the other one. Well, guess what? Guess what just came out? Breaking news right here. Supreme Court rules for the designer who refused to make a wedding website for gay couples in First Amendment case. Yes, they ruled in favor of the designer, not the couple. Okay, that is huge. The next one is, and again, I just read this, the power to wipe out student loan debt based off what President Biden outlined. Again, this is coming today. The reason why these are so big, and this one in particular is so big, is because there's millions and millions of borrowers out there that are going to struggle to pay back their loan. Right now, we have over $1.6 trillion in student loan debt. More than 43 million borrowers, but 23 million borrowers have already applied for loan forgiveness. This was until the Supreme Court pretty much blocked this, and the Biden administration had to pretty much shut down their site, where no, you couldn't apply for student loan forgiveness anymore. But initially, 23 million people applied. That's a massive number. Now, keep in mind, just because there may not be any forgiveness does not mean there won't be relief. Here's what I can tell you right now. It says Biden isn't extending the student loan payment pause, but borrowers might not have to immediately start repayment in October. I addressed this the other day as well, and I said that there is a new program. It's very similar to the repay program under the former President Barack Obama, but this one, the SAVE program, this one would actually reduce your payments. Instead of paying 10% under the repay program, and that's 10% of your disposable income, you would actually only pay 5%. That's if you are a lower income household. Now, the other thing is you would actually see something called a safety net period. I want to read you this, okay? And I talked about this yesterday. I reported on this the other day as well. It says on Thursday, Politico first reported that the department in recent weeks, this is the Department of Education, has finalized its plan to implement a 3-month grace period after payments resume in October for any missed payments. This is something the department has been working on as early as 2021, known as the safety net period, in which borrowers who fall behind on payments within the first 90 days of repayment would immediately be placed on forbearance and would not experience negative credit reporting. Okay, that's the new thing. That's the new thing that they have been slowly rolling out or working on. Now they're going to start to roll it out. This was just reported yesterday by Politico. My expectation is we're going to get more reports on this over the next few weeks as well. All right? So that's what we know regarding student loan forgiveness and the repayment. But let's talk about the next big one. That is this potential UPS strike. It says UPS strike imminent if pay agreement not reached by Friday, according to the Teamsters. This is their warning that they just gave us yesterday. All right? Now, I want to get to this news regarding UPS because this means that more than 300,000 workers could go on strike very soon. Currently, the union has until August 1st, 2023 to strike a deal. If they don't, there's a very high possibility that workers are simply going to stop working and decide to go on strike. This is going to cause massive problems for anybody that makes a purchase online. I know for me personally, over the past couple of weeks, I think three of the packages I've ordered have come by UPS. So, and these are things that I use for my business on a daily basis. So, there are also things that I usually don't get on FedEx. Don't know why, but they usually come on UPS. So this would change the way I run my business, or one of my businesses. Now, not only is this potential strike going to impact UPS, it's also going to spill over to FedEx eventually. Okay, it's probably not going to happen in the next few months, but as UPS fights for better wages, things like that, there are going to be some talks, discussions, and spillover into the other businesses as well, FedEx being the big one. Now, not only that, but packages that are delivered from Walmart and Target and Amazon are going to slow down. Again, this is going to cause major issues. But here's what you need to keep in mind about this strike. If Walmart and Target and Amazon are experiencing a slowdown with online purchases, guess what that means? All these businesses that have went from Amazon never had a large retail store, but Walmart and Target, that they were selling the majority of their products in store, not online. Then they started to, especially Walmart, started to shut down certain stores, especially like in Oregon and Portland for Walmart. But if you live in Portland, Oregon, and you want to buy something from Walmart, guess what? You either got to go drive to another Walmart, or you risk purchasing it online and hoping it doesn't come via UPS. Again, that could be a problem. Now, the reason I bring this up today, okay, is for one very important reason. The negotiation has gone on long enough, but it's today that the Teamsters are warning that the UPS strike is imminent if a pay agreement is not reached by today. That's the reason why. That's the reason why I waited for today. This, according to the Teamsters, they say they want UPS's final offer, their best offer. Okay, so for real estate we call that the best and final. But will they give it? I don't know. And if UPS isn't ready to provide their best and final offer, and it doesn't look appealing to the workers, then the workers are simply just going to walk away. They'll walk away from negotiations and just be ready to go on strike within the next month. Now, I know a handful of people that work for UPS, and I reached out to one, simply asking what's going on, and he had no clue. He knew there's a pay dispute and all that stuff, but as far as whether or not he decides to strike, he wasn't dead set on it. But I reached out to another friend of mine, and this friend of mine, he used to work for UPS until May 2023. And I asked him what was going on. I asked him, how are things looking? What's the morale like, in the company? And he said this. He says, UPS has not been treating its employees correctly, and they've been doing this for quite a while. They're making record profits and have been for some time, but when you ask for a raise, they will not give you one. They didn't give me an adequate raise for about 2 years. I left for a more local delivery service, and just starting out, I was making $5.75 more per hour. I can also pick up 4 overtime shifts each month, and I get 1 more week of paid vacation each year. It's just a better situation for me, and I personally love it. That's what he said. So this is potentially going to be a major issue. And we've been talking about strikes for some time because we've seen it before. Remember railroads, right? Remember how the Biden administration had to get involved there? Yeah. I don't think they're going to get involved here, but it's possible. Right now, we need to see an agreement. And the agreement should not just favor the business, but you got to look after the employees. Again, over 300,000 employees. This is not just going to impact people here in the United States. We're going to see this impact people all across the world. Because think about it. Just because they're trying to reach an agreement here. Let's say we're trying to get a product from Washington State. It's going to go over to New York and then go over to like England, right? Guess what? If UPS workers here in Washington State aren't going to put it on a truck to send over to New York, and then they're not going to send it internationally to England, guess what? The product's never going to show up. It will just never show up. Okay? So keep that in mind. A lot of stuff happening right now. Major news. I just wanted to fill you on what's going on, give you kind of a breakdown of a few different things that are happening today. Because again, these are very important moving forward. So, as we get more information as to what is going on here, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. All you got to do is two things. Hit the like button on this video. Also, click that subscribe button so you never miss an update. And I will see you guys on the next one.